John here. It's Thursday morning at 3 o'clock on the 19th of March 2015. I'm just calling Sir Bernard Hogan Howe, Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police in London. Let's see if I can get through. I've sent him the first bill for the police here in pound notes and an invoice that's gone online on Facebook, and it's sent off to him with all the pound notes, and for him to give Graham Aylett a call. He's the private investigator in Browns Bay, Auckland, North Shore, ex-detective of the Scotland Yard in England. So I hope he does that. I'm going to ring now. It's a bit late now, I've been up all night, and so here we go. We'll just try and get through. Here goes. Let's see if we have any luck here.
Welcome to the Metropolitan Police. This is Bernard Hogan Howe, the Commissioner. An operator will be with you as soon as possible. If your call is an emergency, please hang up and redial 999. Please note your call may be recorded.
Good afternoon, police operator. How can I help?
Yes, look, it's John Wanoa in Auckland, New Zealand here speaking.
Hi there.
Hi, I've got a number from the last call I made to Alex.
Yes.
Is that you, Alex?
It's not myself, no, it's one of my colleagues.
Okay, CAD 2669. And yeah, and I'm just wanting to see if I can speak to Sir Bernard, please. I've sent some.
What is it that you wish to speak to the Commissioner about?
I've sent some information through to him, and I'm acting as the surrogate for King William IV there. I'll be coming over to England to link us with our native people here in New Zealand in the contract. We've got a contract that's been going back right to 1835. And we haven't done anything about it until now. Well, since the Queen has shifted the goalpost, we're defaulted back into King William's reign in the commercial contracts. And I'm trying to set up a joint venture in our tidal energy projects up in Scotland and here in the Pacific. We're trying to get the British military to come here on our land blocks and set up before we get invaded by other people that are wanting to go into the Pacific as well. But we do have a long-standing agreement straight to Westminster. I'm going into the lower house of Westminster. We've already got our flag there, the Confederation flag, 1835 King William Declaration of Independence flag. That's our legacy. That's never gone into the upper house. So since the Queen is in the EU Parliament, she's cleaned out the HM Treasury. So I'm going there to be the head trustee of the Queen Victoria Trust. That we are still the beneficiaries of the immigrants that came here from Britain, as well as our Maori native people here. It's only come to that time now that I'm doing all the history, I'm doing all the legal work, and I'm a private prosecutor. So I'm running a private prosecution business here with Aylett Investigations. He's an ex-detective from Scotland Yard. And so I've got some other military people, police there in London waiting for me to come over. Just to let you know that I'm on Facebook. You just type John Wanoa. You'll see all the legal documents there of legacy here and there.
Okay, John.
So if I can get... Pardon?
If you can what, sorry, John?
No, I'll just see if he's available. If not, he
won't be available. He's busy all day, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. I just thought I'd chance it, that's all. And I'll just...
No, he's quite busy. You know, he is the commissioner of the police.
That's right, yes.
You know, we don't really have time that we can connect him through to, you know, members of the public.
Yes, that's right. I realise that. I'm only talking on a diplomatic level, that if he's looking for funding, then I'm in charge of the pound note over there. We have the printing rights to the money that the Rothschild banks don't have. We have the legacy and the rights, the legal rights as the Lord High Admiral. That's my position.
Yeah.
Lord High Admiral, that's my position that Obama's using, but they're using our flag. And so I have issues with that because Britain is our partner. The British government and the military is our legal partner, and the Scotland Yard. If they look at all the documents I've sent, then that'll tell. But I think he'll get around to it. But I need to be over there for the elections because I've got a party there. The Moa. Yeah, I know, the Moa King William party. I'm supposed to be there to kick it off because that is getting popular around the world at the moment because we got the only flag in the world that'll go around the world, and that's King William's flag. We haven't used it, but I think the Queen and the Rothschild banks and the Vatican's using it. That's our contract. I'm going there because the Treasury is cleaned out. All the money's gone. And that trust we're the beneficiaries. We're the beneficiaries here of that trust where all the gold's gone. So I've got a right to it. I've got a legal right to it to find out what's going on with our trust. And I'm going there as the head trust to replace the Queen because she's a conflict of interest from the EU Parliament. And she's pulling Westminster to bits. If I don't go there with the flag, it might lose it because Scotland's going out. That only leaves England and Wales. So I'm coming there to bring the fifth state in the Pacific. The fifth state is...
Well, that's duly noted, alright.
That's okay.
That message has been sent across to the New Scotland Yard. Do you want to take down the reference number?
Yes, please.
Yeah, it'll be another CAD number.
Yep.
And this one is 4746.
4746. And what's your name?
John, alright.
What's your name?
My name's David.
David. Thank you, David.
Alright, John, hope you have a nice evening.
You too. Bye.
Alright, bye-bye.
Bye. Well, that's it. It's just got reference number, and it looks like they're not too bothered about making money. They're only bothered about fixing up the problems in the Scotland Yard. If only they knew what this pound note would do. And very difficult to get people to change their way of looking. And I've just said to him, I'm getting a bit tired and long in the tooth at this hour of the morning. It's going on to 4 o'clock now, and I'm going, I've been up all day, and next day. So at least I've got those documents over there. But sooner or later, the penny will drop, and all I needed to do was to get them to acknowledge the private investigator here. And the fraud is still there. The longer it takes, the worse the bill becomes, because I've just sent the invoice for £1 trillion a day. That's going to rack up here on that block of land, and they'll have to address it. Or the military. I'll ring the military next to see who's going to move the fastest at this lot. And their ignorance will eventually see that they've been cut on their budget by the Queen. That they don't realise that the Queen is pulling them to bits and cutting all their funding from EU Parliament. They can't see that yet. They just can't see that yet because they just think things are normal when she goes up and down the street. And all the time she's trying to kill them off. And we're going there, like I said. He's only recording what I'm saying. And there's only a certain amount of time before I can get there to elections. And I still needed to finish this section off. I'll go to see the police tomorrow. And I'll tell them it's racking up the bill. And their owners. I'm going to put it to them tomorrow because I've finished the invoice for the police. I just have to finish off the other invoice for the landowners on the registered landowners on the 1/61 Cook Street. And I'll take it to them and I'll say it's real. That there'll be nothing left on them but skin and bones on the debtors' instruments. Anyway, you can see it on Facebook now, the invoice, and you can see the figure, and you can see the story, why, and there's nobody denying it, because they can't, it's a private contract. You can't, no one can go into it. And those guys, they don't understand Admiralty, that's why. They don't understand what is happening with the banks. They really don't know. People are not that far into it to find why they're in debt and why the banks make a lot of money. This is how they make a lot of money. I'm learning how to make a lot of money for people, not for me, for people. Okay, I can live on next to nothing. But I'm just saying to Sir Bernard, Hogan Howe, it's been since the 12th. It's 7 days. I still haven't got a reply from you. And I find that being diplomatic and talking to come and save your country from the Westminster going downhill, because that's where it's going downhill, and it's been pulled underneath you. They want to shut it down. The EU Parliament wants to shut it down. And with Alex Salmond going out, he's going to have a bit of struggle getting back in because Hague is going to put the pressure on him. Right? Hague is going to put the pressure on him. On Alex Salmond. Well, not so much Alex Salmond, but Alex Salmond wants to come back into Westminster with Scotland. Well, the English can say no. You can't come back on that land. You left it. Like Ireland. Ireland's foreign. It's foreign now, so they're splitting themselves up. And I'm going there to patch them up, and the guy hasn't seen what's happening. And the last one, that's the third call now. That's the third call I've made to try and get to Bernard when I'm more of a position with being the king than they have no queen. The queen is there, but it's just milking them. There's no money in the treasury. That's what George Lee says, not George Lee, Gordon Bowden. Those guys know, and John Patterson, they know what's going on. They're right up to it. And George Lee's, they know what's going on. But the public don't know. And I know what's going on with the banks, and that's why I'm playing around with the banks and the pound note, because they can't do anything about it. And so all I needed was a little push, just the fraction of somebody looking this way. The answer's over here, not there. The answer is here, right here. This is the answer. If you only knew that that's going to save you, British people, this Queen William flag, it's going to save you. If anything goes downhill, then don't blame me. I didn't say so. Okay? I'm just telling you. I'm just sitting here watching you all facing the doom and the gloom of the Russians now bearing down on you with your Rothschilds and Vatican. You can't get out of it. It just, only way to get out of it is this flag. You can't get out of it, the debt. It's impossible. And even over here in New Zealand, they can't get out of the debt. It's been well designed to keep you in debt. And that's why I'm surprised the police are covering up all the fraud here and Britain. You see, I can tell. I can really, really tell that they don't want to give up. Those ones inside the Parliament. The Parliament will pull itself to pieces, and there'll be only Wales and England to speak. If I was there, I'd have more say than them put together with their flag. That's what I'm saying. With this flag. Anyway, that's all I think I need to say for now. I think I'll go and have a little rest, because I'm so tired, and writing and looking at what's going on in the world and putting a few things on the Facebook just to keep in touch. I usually scroll through and pick up other things on the way through, but watching what's going on in Russia, Iran, North Korea. I'm not worried about America. It's going downhill. And it's the pits of society, or the alien on other people's land. People getting sick of them now. The Russians get sick of America and everybody else that they're trying to bully themselves around. And Obama's losing it. His wife is not a she, she's a he. And all those sort of mad things. And the Pope, you see, they got troubles. And catching up with them. Okay? Sin won't stay around long. If you're not true, then it's going to catch up. That's the changes that's happening now. And Monsanto, you'll notice we've got a few websites on Facebook. We've got Monsanto there, we've got the debtors in the King William under this flag to build them. Okay? We build them. Once we start building one, we just keep going. We've got our little crew to get going here, and some others around the world in America as well that are looking and just waiting patiently. But we should be gone before long. I might have to go ahead of Jamie. Yet I'll see what we do. But anyway, this is just one more last message to you, Bernard. So Bernard, I sent some emails to you tonight. In it, it's got the police here implicated in the fraud. I've named their companies, 14 of them. They're running their business in conflict to the public. They're not worrying about the public. They're only worrying about themselves and their private business. That's what I'm investigating here. Only for our own native country. I'm sticking up for our native people and the immigrants that are behaving themselves, right? The genuine ones, not the fraud ones, not the elite ones, the ones who are genuine. So Bernard, you'll see that the NZ Invest Limited is another government contracted company that's got another 14 companies. I put them in the bill. They're getting all bill because they're all linked together. And the Intuition New Zealand Limited company, right? They're doing the same thing too. They're all in the pot, in the trough, and all for themselves, and nothing for us, the owners of these lands. Okay, so that's why I'm building it up right up like that. It's all those people shares that bill, £1 trillion a day. That won't make up for all the years since 1830 that they've been here. Okay, 1830. There was been Europeans and British here, and 1830 to 1835, that's when we had our agreement, this contract I'm talking about, David, between us and your British people. 1835, when King William IV gave us this flag, and gave us our own independence and our own sovereign country government. Okay? So I'm trying to get business with you guys, but it's taking me a long time to absorb this lot. Right? Just 20 years here put together to make this thing happen. And there's a big change around. There's a big change around in the world. Right? So we're trying to get the Pacific here going, as far as we're concerned. The solid land in the Pacific, right in the middle of nowhere. We have a right to everything around it, not foreigners. Okay? I'm saying we are the doctrines of discovery title here, Bernard, in the Pacific. We have all the memorials. The Moai statue standing in London, that was stolen. That's stolen treasures of our own family, my Wanoa family, that I want back. See? So it's already a sin already, with Queen Victoria stole it. Okay? So I'm having her and the trust for theft. Okay? Prized possessions. That's your law. That's not our law. We've got the spirit law. You never take someone's spirit off their land. Okay? And then take it back to England. What for? That's what I'm saying, Bernard. So, Bernard, there's a lot of bad things that have been going on in the Queen's side. The King would never do that. Not King William. He would never do that. As soon as he died, away they went with his 50 years in the Navy. That's what I'm saying. 50 years he put the mortgages together with his government and legislated the acts for it and put the mortgages together, the liens, and put the Bank of England acts together to go around the world, sailing around the world on this flag. On this flag. Not the Navy flag, on this flag. Okay? The Navy flag is not a business, trading, commerce, banking, military flag. No. No flag is like that, only this one. Okay? That's what I'm saying. It's for the native people, the indigenous people of the world. Right? And that's the part that's, without that, there would be no mortgages with this on it. And our contract. Right? We have a contract with your immigrants here and Queen Victoria. Okay? It's still there. It's still there. But the Queen has corrupted it. And I'm going to uncorrupt it. Right? And find where all the money's gone. Because I have a right to come in as the new head trustee to replace her as the head trustee and replace Prince Andrew as a fraudster and the King and Queen of Spain as fraudsters as well. So our gold is missing. That's why I want Scotland Yard to go and look for it. Well, somebody's got to look for it. Might have to get the Black Seals to do it. You see? It's going to be found. It's got to be found. So the British are liable. You're liable, you British, to go and salvage it all. Because that's the Admiralty, Lord High Admiral, King's Bench Law, to do that. Okay? King's Royal Revenue, the King of the Sea. Right? That's my job. Okay? I've got the contract with him. It's nobody's business. Just between me and the King. That's it. Yep. That's it. I'm speaking for the King. And no one else can speak for the King. Unless you got the documents. These are all the documents around here. And a flag. Okay? For my people. My chiefs. Other than that, I'll just wait patiently for your reply. And see if you do reply. Because as long as you don't reply, then there's something between you, the Queen, and this lot. And the fraud's still there. It's still there, and it's still over there. It's still the same Queen's fraud. Not the King's fraud, the Queen's fraud. The two different contracts going on here. And her business is here, in New Zealand. She's parked her business here with the New Zealand Business Roundtable. Not over there in England. No, there's nothing. She's left the place bare. Alright? She's just taking out what she wants, and then that's the end of it. Okay? Well, that's all for now. I better have a rest and finish off the landowner's invoice in the morning. So I'll have time to do it and to deliver it and serve it on them. Okay? Serve the notice and the bill and shock them. Okay? Thank you very much. Bye for now. Time now is 3:26 a.m. on Thursday, the 19th of March 2015. Bidding you a good night. See you again.